the technology volunteers from the University of Warwick, and I'm Arteesha. This is Tom, Matt, Mary and Margaret. They're a bit busy doing some coding challenge, which we'll explain later what they're up to. So basically, as technology volunteers, as a group of students, we go to local schools in Coventry, Warwickshire area to introduce Scratch to young children and to help with introduce programming and help with their logical and creative thinking. We then move that forward into using sensors to engage them into science and engineering. And Margaret helps us a lot with the technology that we use and the teaching content that we present. And Mary is an external volunteer. Tom?
So, working a lot with schools and kids in the local area back in England, we found that certain groups of kids and children prefer different parts of Scratch. So some prefer the sensing side, so using pico builds, buttons and all sorts of stuff like that. And some just prefer the coding, so the software side. So we feel it's important not just to limit to the software and the hardware, and to cover both to make sure that they get, so they're interested and whatnot. We also found that they tend to get problems in different ways. And also, obviously, us coming from mathematics, computer science and physics, we also got problems in different ways. So we've come up with this little challenge to show different ways of going with things. We've basically got the baseball catcher and the ball bouncing around, and you've got to catch the ball. But they've been given different ingredient lists, so only one group can use the blocks on the left and on the right the other blocks, and hopefully they'll come up with different solutions. Okay, so over to Matt now.
Okay, hi guys. So just to try and demonstrate some of the ideas we've been talking about, we're going to try and look at trying to make a dog chase a cat in different ways. Okay, so one way we can do it is we can use a simple go-to block. So that just makes it instantly jump to the cat. The dog will jump to the cat. Or we could try a different approach, which is using glide. So that gives more of a smooth transition. So you can see there's different ways of getting the same result. Again, you've got more complicated ways of doing it, using if statements. So now you point towards the cat, you move towards him, or then you can change X and change Y, so you kind of zigzag up towards him. So you can see there's actually multiple ways of getting one solution to a problem. So which one's the right one is kind of what we're asking. And for the kids, we say there isn't one right solution, it's whatever solution they want to try and make. So what we've learned while we've been teaching Scratch is that if you encourage kids to solve the problem the way they want to, not the way you want them to do it initially, they'll actually learn much better independently. They actually take a lot more pride in their solution they make, because it's not just following a recipe that you have told them to do. So really, our take-home message is that, as you can see up there are multiple ways to solve one problem, and if you use creative thinking, you get different solutions. Okay, so that's kind of our take-home message. So now we're going to try and look at what our live coders have got to. So if we have a look over here, you can see what have we got done? Well, how have we got the baseball catcher to move?
So he moves by the arrow keys.
Yeah.
Very simple. And then we've made the ball appear in a random position.
Mm-hmm. Can you press the green flag?
Yep. So it just appears
Okay, so it bounces around, yeah.
And hide and then show, and then it just moves around.
Okay, so you've used the sensing block with the colours there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what have we got over here? A lot more complicated it looks. We're just switching screens. Give us a second. It should work. Fingers crossed.
So basically, we didn't have the move one, so and if on edge bounce, so we had to identify the boundaries and identify them, and based on that, it has to move the ball so it bounces off the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
So also in the capture, instead of using the arrow keys, we couldn't use the arrow keys because we didn't have those blocks, so we had to use the go-to mouse pointer instead as a way of moving it around.
Okay, so you can see, there are two very similar looking games, but using very, very different blocks. And which one's right? They're both right, because they both are a game that does what we ask them to do. So that's our presentation. All our contact information's up there, and I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you very much.